Okay, so I'm just going to be fixing up the head retention spring in this floppy drive in this video. No fancy intro, no gamer greeting, just simple repair video. And this time I am not doing any soldering, so I don't think that it's going to be nearly as much of a disaster as it was last time I tried repairing a floppy drive. So none of this really has to do with the electronics, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove this logic board entirely, which slides out relatively smoothly. So I'll just set that aside. And then there's also this plate here that blocks access to the heads. And I know that the head retention spring or torsion spring or whatever you want to call it is failing just because I have a almost identical drive that also has the same problem, and I figured, you know, this drive here is having quite a few read errors, so it's probably having the same problem. And when I took it apart a couple days ago, it did. Only thing is, back then I didn't have any solution for it. So I just tried my best to kind of like bend the spring back into place, if I can get this to focus. And yeah, clearly this spring is just giving out at this point. It is mutilated. It does not really hold its shape anymore. It hasn't been holding its shape ever since I got this from eBay. But yeah, even when the drive is closed, yeah, the heads just do not contact at all. So yeah, I will be fixing that with a simple swap. If I can get the camera to focus. This is the first time I'm using a tripod for once. But yeah, this actually comes from a different floppy drive that basically has a completely obliterated head, so I figured that I might as well just harvest it for parts. It's not like I'll be able to use it anyway, because yeah, the old laptop that this came out of was dead on arrival, so I just turned it into a parts machine. But yeah, let me just adjust the camera back so that it's focusing on that, and we will get to work. So let me just get out some tweezers, because I really do not like the idea of having this shoot out at my face when I remove the spring. So let me just... The only big issue that I have is that there's not really all that good of an angle to come at for actually removing and inserting a new spring. But yeah, there we go. And also, yeah, the glue on this is just gone. There are some parts that I don't think that will show up on the camera where there's a little bit of like red glue sort of thing that just helps hold stuff in place. But yeah, it's weak, it's just destroyed. So yeah, I guess it's just a matter of trying to position this new spring and putting it back onto the peg, which is a lot easier said than done. line this hole up. Then I do that. Try and press the peg in. And then I just use the tweezers to just sort of nudge the spring around until it goes all the way through. Okay, so it's not perfect, but there's a lot less in the way of the heads being able to just lift off like they did before. And yeah, there's not really all that much else that I can do besides maybe just find a better spring to replace it with, but yeah, I don't think that is going to be good enough still to actually allow the drive to read properly. So let me just pull this out again, hold on to the spring so it doesn't fly off. I'm going to need to get pliers for this. There we go. Okay, so I guess I'll just try and further bend the spring a bit. I'll just use this piece from the floppy drive that I harvested it from and just bend. And then, let's see. Okay, and let's try this again now. So that goes there. Where's the peg? There it is. Keep it here so then I can grab it. And I gotta position this side of the screw over this hole here, which is much harder now because of what shape I've bent this into. Man, working with springs is annoying. Yeah, this week. Well, I had to expect that. Maybe if I used it in like companion to the original spring though, that might help a little bit. Where's the original spring? Here's the original spring. So let's do this. Hit through. Nudge the spring around so then the peg can go through. Still not working all that well, and now I have two springs I gotta worry about popping back up at my face. All I want is a spring to be able to nudge the reed heads down just enough. Is that all that hard to ask for? Okay, I'm returning to this spring instead because it provides much more force at the cost of my sanity. Okay, where did the peg go? There it is. And you gotta excuse me for blocking the camera most of the time with my arm. I'm just trying to put this little metal dowel in to hold the spring in place. Okay, and it is in. So close yet so far. That's literally just barely there. Like, once again, if I even just put something here to like block up this hole, it might be enough to push it all the way. Okay, it's almost there. I think I might actually resort to just continuing to stack pieces of 3D printed scrap, because that seems to be what's working right now. Okay, let's break another piece off of the scrap heap. And just stuff it down under the spring there. I'm not sure if that's enough or not, but it is like there. I think one more piece. Actually, let's cut this big piece in half. If this all goes well, then I think I'll just like glue the pieces together, cut them down to size. Or maybe even just 3D print something with the exact like dimensions that then I don't have to do any trimming, and that dropped in the most inconvenient spot. There we go. Slip 2 more under there. Tuck it under the cable. I think that's enough. There's almost no tolerance left. But at the same time, I know that if I put too much force, then I think I'll try running the computer like this. I know that I can leave the logic board hanging off because, you know, the wires that connect to and from the board are actually quite long. Like I can just Actually, another thing that I gotta consider is if it's gonna fit under the shield still. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna fit under there. And ooh, gotta be careful with that. I think I'll just leave the shield off for now. Tuck the board in to here. Just that then it's not going to touch any metal and short out. Reconnect the head, read-write cables. And yeah, that's pretty much as far as the reassembly goes, at least for now. So yeah, I guess I will just, oh, this is unfocused. I guess I will, come on, focus, there we go. I guess I will probably just like cut the video here, try it again on the computer, see if it can read a disc without me having to physically press down on the head like I have been in testing. And yeah, okay. Alright, so it's hooked up, and I actually had to reinstall a small mod that I made a while, well, not a while back, but just yesterday to get this working, because this is actually not your typical 5 1/4 inch drive. This is a quad density drive, which means that stores up to 720 kilobytes per disk rather than 360 kilobytes or 1.2 megs. And yeah, you're gonna see what I have to do as just like workarounds in a moment. So let's just turn on the computer. Swivel this up to the screen. Man, having a tripod is nice. Okay, and now I just gotta go into the BIOS settings. Change this to... Officially, the board only recognizes 360K and 1.2 meg drives, so I just leave it on 1.2 megs and use a special driver in DOS to do the rest. And yeah, at the moment I have FreeDOS installed on an SD card, and that's what we're going to be booting off of. And if I remember correctly, yeah, first boot device is floppy, so I will try installing FreeDOS onto this disk, first as a 360K disk and then as a 720K. And yeah, let's just see where we go from there. And there's the seat noises. Oh, I just realized there we go. Let's just load it without drivers for now. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I used HC format in order to do things. So let's just put a disk into the drive. And then HC format /?. Okay, so I want to do /f 720. Oh wait, I forgot to do that. There we go. Press enter when ready. Yeah, read errors. I think I still have to press down the... Yeah, I still have to press down the head, I think. Yep. Yeah, it's still just barely off. Okay, let's just stop that. Turn off the computer. And yeah, I guess I'll just be adding one more piece of scrap 3D prints onto the pile. So yeah. Okay, I've added another piece of plastic. Let's try this again. So turning on the computer now. Everything should still be just as it was before, with the exception of there being one more piece of plastic in between the spring and the reed head. And actually, hold on a moment. While I was working on the drive, I noticed a little piece of plastic. And I think that the drive manufacturer actually had the exact same idea as me, because this is almost the exact same thickness as all of those scrap pieces of plastic stacked up. And I can see a little bit of glue right there in the light there. A bit of just old dry glue that broke off, and a tiny print from where the spring used to be. So I think they, like as in the manufacturer of the drive, MPI, actually used this in order to make the spring's tension be able to hold down the reed head better. So that's going to be a little bit interesting if that really is the case. And that would also mean that I don't have to 3D print anything. So anyway, let's put the disc back in. Okay, let's try going back to HC format. I mean, it's formatting perfectly fine in that. Yeah, it's working just fine now. In hindsight, I think I just forgot to install the TSR. Yes, I need to learn how to tripod better. There we go. But yeah, it's working perfectly fine right now. Okay, it seems like the disk might be the problem in those two cases. And granted, it's a very, very old disk, so I wouldn't be surprised if some parts of it are just dying. Yeah, just the occasional read errors. Okay, let's try adding a boot sector to it. Okay, and now let's reboot, see if it boots off of the disk. If it can boot, then I'll call that a success. And it's booting! Hey! What do you know? Okay, so yep, that's the floppy disk, alright, and there's the, you know, the free space saying 720K. Let's go back. Oh, hiccups. Let's try formatting A again. /U/F260. Oh, okay. Seems like I got to boot from the C drive. Yeah, just from visual inspection, it does look like the disk itself might be a little bit bad. But yeah, let's try formatting as the 360K disk one more time. Okay, now it's working. So I guess that weirdness just needed a reboot for whatever reason. But my goal was to fix the tension, the torsion spring on the read head, and yeah, clearly that works now. Oh. Critical error during DOS disk access. Unknown unit for driver? Huh. I mean, I didn't have any issue. Is it because I need to load the HC format driver? Because I know that technically this drive requires a special driver to actually work properly. There we go, I've installed the TSR software. Let's try formatting A again. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like it's doing that thing where the head moved all the way up to the hub ring and just kept knocking against it like it was before. I have no idea why I was doing that. But seems like it's working now. And that's nice. That's good. What is going on? I mean, it seems like it's working. Not enough space to transfer. Let's try just a regular format. Wait, no. I forgot. The BIOS of this computer sees it as a 1.2 meg drive. I have to do a... No. Formatting it as a high density disk, that is not good. So it seems like there is still a little bit of weirdness going on. I think for the most part, whatever there is left that's being weird can just be left to the computer itself not officially supporting a drive like this. Because the BIOS has settings for 360K and 1.2 meg drives, but 720K drives in between were more or less never fully supported on IBM compatible machines. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it errors out again. Yep. So I think I have to use HC format. Yeah, so let's see. I think I can do /L since that specifies a low density format. Oh, it's gonna try and... Wait, what? Okay, I guess it's gonna try formatting it as an 820K disk. That's interesting. I wonder if it's even gonna work. Because I am definitely cramming a lot more data onto this 360K disk than it's meant to store. What I meant to do was to go into the previous directory because I have a different formatting program that I was thinking might work better. But surprisingly enough, it seems like this is... Oh, okay, there's the read errors. Yeah, I figured that would happen. And because of his higher density, there's more of them. Yeah, who would have figured? Okay, I have another one called... And then I install... Wait, hold on. MT... Okay. Yeah, format master, okay, blah blah blah. Let's exit FM80, so that installs the drivers. Now FMTMS. See what options there are. Okay. Initialize boot sector. A. That's weird. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, it's formatting a 360K disk. So far it's working. So it was near the very end where it crashed when using FreeDOS. 30, 31, 32. Just gotta keep going. Okay. Okay. Alright, it sounds like it's able. Oh, uh-oh. Sector not found. Okay, time to reboot again. But it does seem like it was able to successfully format to 360K, which is, I don't know. Time to eject the disk again. Control-Alt-Delete. Wait for it to enter DOS. There we go. Disk in. Load without drivers because I don't want anything to interfere. Wait, I'm going to try doing sys A again first. Oh, okay, this time it worked. Okay, and there it is. 360K, well, 360K to 720K, and then back to 360K. But, okay, before I do anything else, I am going to do the boot test again. Make sure that I can boot off the floppy disk. And what do you know? It worked. Well, oh. Okay, it looks like there is a bit of corruption going on. Let's see if I can just overwrite it and, just restart again. Once again, though, I figure that given the age of the disk, it very well might just be the disk itself deteriorating from all the formatting and reformatting and everything. Okay, this time it worked. So yeah, that more or less confirms it was just the disk in that case. Drive don't seem to be having any issues anymore. So yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.